Okay, sun has fully come out now, so we're getting a bit warm, aren't we? It's a bit different from this morning. So we have here a Ford Capri, not a standard Ford Capri, obviously, and it's a pretty big engine in there. What have we actually got in there then?
So that's a 5.7 litre Ford V8 with a GM 471 supercharger on top. Puts out about 550 horsepower and 500 pound of torque and about 1800 revs, so it's a powerful old beast.
Yeah, I mean it's a big old engine, so it doesn't really fit, but
they made it fit. So the car was the car's from Jersey.
Okay, yeah,
and it was originally it was a hire car in Jersey in 1976. It lasted 3 months as a hire car and then caught fire because somebody dropped a fag on the seat, set fire to it with the old Ford velour upholstery. Yeah. And a chap bought it because he'd seen the Piranha V8 Capris from South Africa, the Basil Green Capris, to do a similar thing. So he got the motor and gearbox out of a Sunbeam Tiger, shoehorned it into the car, moved it all the way back just to make the sump fit.
Yeah, I was going to say the engine is way back, isn't it?
It has the benefit of the weight's a long way back, which is nice.
It's a hefty old lump, isn't it?
Purely for ease of fitting that they put it in there.
So the engine is behind the front wheels, effectively, isn't it? Now, just looking at that.
Yeah. The back of the engine's alongside my feet. My feet are alongside number 4 manifold.
Oh my goodness!
So it's a bit warm.
Yeah.
And number 4 plug's a bit of a swine to get to.
I can imagine that. It all looks quite difficult to get to, actually.
But it was built as a hill climber, specifically for Jersey and Guernsey, and it raced in Jersey for 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And this is what I used to go and see race. This is all I was interested in at the hill climbs was this. And I told the chap when I was about 14 that I'd buy it off him.
So was this still on Jersey?
Still on Jersey, I'm from Jersey originally.
All right, okay.
And about 30 years later, I managed to get it off him. It had been in a shed for 25 years or so. And that's why it looks patinated is the posh term. But a bit knackered is the general term. Used. Because that's as it was last raced. So what we've done is we've rebuilt the motor and sorted it all out to make it work, but kept the visual sort of aspect of the car. So all the paint's original, most of the stickers are original, as it was put away in about 1981.
Right.
But it's a really well-known car in the Channel Islands. The catering meat special, it had a few names: Grunhaler, Grolsch, basically beer and meat. So it was a barbecue special. But a lot of people had forgotten about it, and we rebuilt it in 2013 and brought it back over to the island for the International Motoring Festival every June and run it there. And people love to see it run, you know?
Yeah, I've got a feeling I might have seen it there, to be honest. I was over there around about that time.
Oh, right.
For that.
Yeah. It's a great way of talking, especially to kids, about old race cars. We find that you can explain so much when you can see everything. And we have a lot of fun talking to people about the car.
I mean, the engine is the sort of eye-catching thing about this, obviously, isn't it? But I mean, the interior is all stripped out as well.
The interior is completely stripped out. There's not a lot left.
There's no burnt seats in here.
No. Basically, most of the back of the car was cut out.
Roll cage and everything.
It's got a Jag Mark 10 back end on it.
How does that work then?
It's basically like an E-Type Series 1 back end, so independent rear suspension. Back in the 70s in Jersey, you were floating around in the middle of the sea, so you had to be inventive and creative.
Right, yeah.
So they fabricated everything. They narrowed the back suspension. They cut the drive shafts down, cut the links down, welded it all back. It's as agricultural as anything in there. It is not pretty, but I've blown the diff up once, and when we took it apart, it had Quality Street biscuit tins, the tin lids of Quality Streets as the limited slip diff plates. So they bodged things together.
I was going to say a bit of a bodge there, bodge special.
But we do that. It runs 13, 14-inch wide back tyres, so basically Formula 5000 size almost. 10-inch wide on the front.
Yeah.
And it does sort of work around corners, more by luck than judgment. The whole thing
better in straight lines.
Better in straight lines.
Yeah.
It works remarkably well. It flexes and twists and bends, but it sort of all works as a whole. So it's reasonably predictable.
Lovely. And you've been running it here at Brooklands today, up on the finishing
on
straight.
That was fun.
Not the smoothest of surfaces up there, is it?
No.
But I watched you do it this morning, and looked quite hairy, really.
It was a bit. There was a nice bit of water halfway across, and I was thinking I best not spin in a straight line going up here.
Yeah, the back went out a little bit though, didn't it?
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back on the banking was brilliant.
I mean,
to say I've driven on the bank
banking
is just
that's the best part.
That's the best bit,
to be honest. Yeah,
you've got to do that. It's wonderful. It's great coming to Brooklands again. I've only ever been once before, and it was just we were asked to come, and I said, "Yep, that's fine," and we'll have a good look around now. So
brilliant. Well, enjoy your day.
Thank you very much.
I guess you're doing some runs later.
Yeah, we'll
on.
do runs at 1 o'clock on the Mercedes circuit.
Oh, you're doing the parade.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yep, lovely.
So
okay,
we'll go for that.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thanks
Thank
a lot.